Intellectuals think that they can tell you how to hip hop. And this is all centered around a statement that BigXthaPlug made. But the guys you see on the thumbnail are none other than FD Signifier, who I've covered some of his content before. Salutes to him. And I've spoken on Curtis King before as well. Hip hop is it's one of them subjects. I think if most of us passionate about it, we all, can relate to the culture, and especially me being a hip hop artist, producer, all that, who don't choose to solely identify just by that though. But it's a lot of things I hear being said when it comes to the culture about, hip hop, and it's a lot of rules being made that, it's just a lot of politics being spoken surrounding hip hop. And I just want to clear some things up, and I'm not going to show up today like I got all of the answers and I know everything, but I'm going to show up open-minded for any correction, any smoke, and just a fun discussion, right? This ain't about beef. It's really about clarity, culture, and calling out the narratives being built around hip hop's future, and its past and present too. So salutes to FD and Curtis. I just want to challenge them on a couple of things, and I may have some people on my show that agree with you guys. Maybe they won't, maybe they will, but I think you guys bring up some good conversations that's worth me talking about. So let's hop right into it, and feel free, guys, to vote on the poll. Put your vote out there, man. Get your vote on, everybody. Get your vote on. So many of you probably is wondering, what the hell is a hip hop intellectual? Now, I know a lot of y'all know about hip hop historians. It's simple. These mainly are a bunch of older guys, because if you ain't like a Trap Lord Ross or, some of these, it's kind of blasphemous for me to call a lot of these new YouTubers and vloggers hip hop historians. They would like to think that they are. But typically a hip hop historian is a black man from the culture. Is like an oracle of a tribe. You can't be from the outside of that tribe and keep the history of that tribe. The thing about hip hop don't really got a written history. It has a recorded history. And it ain't really a book out there of like a written history book of chronological order of all the events in hip hop. I've even seen hip hop heads debate about certain historical facts or points of who started this or when, So let's put that out there. Historians, we kind of see about the historians, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you, tonight's show is gonna trigger a lot of y'all, and I have to be honest because I'm your brother. I'm gonna kind of have fun if I trigger you, because I'm really gonna feel relieved saying the stuff that I'm saying is from the heart. And one thing I'm gonna say right now that's gonna piss a lot of people off. Let me go and get it out. That is that hip hop historians have never really been relevant, man.
Oh my God!
I just gotta be honest, man. Hip hop historians have never been relevant. You can get mad at me, but I ain't lying. And somebody may say, well, that's part of the problem, Sanchez. We can discuss why they haven't been. No one really cares about the old dude who know the history of hip hop. And let me tell you about the history of hip hop. And no, he didn't. Hurt created the scratch. I can tell you who created the scratch back in '71. No one really cares for those guys in the culture. I'm doing this for them because they should be cared for more, right? But someone got to tell the truth. Somebody got to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell it. Okay? No one really cares, man, about the history of hip hop as much as they care about the future of it. You know why? because hip hop is transient. Hip hop is trendy. And the past, when we start looking back at the past in hip hop, we don't look at hip hop's history like we look at the history of America or the history of your family. We look at the history of hip hop like, hey man, remember when niggas used to wear baggy jeans? Hey, remember when WAP side fades was our hip hop history is more of a series of trends on a timeline. Slap it together, that's a culture. Not really. No one respect hip hop because it's not really a culture for black people as much as it is an industry for Jewish people. Somebody got to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell you. The lines are very blurred when it comes to hip hop being a culture for black people or a business for Jewish people. Because once it become a business for Jewish people, it's not a culture for black people. It's a tool to exploit any forms of culture that they did have and use what you would call a fucking culture to promote toxic items, corporate products like Hennessy, Belvin, Jordan, Gucci, Prada, Louis, to people who can't afford it in the first place. Somebody got to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell you. We got to get this foundation laid before I even get into the whole intellectualism part and whether these intellectuals are gatekeepers or not, because I'm telling you about the historians. No one cares about the history of a trendy ass culture. Think about what I'm telling you. Hip hop is the kind of industry, because it's so raped and robbed by the corporations, its history becomes a series of trends that ain't in style no more. It don't, in other words, history in hip hop don't age well because it's such a trendy culture. It's such a trendy culture. It's not really a culture because real karate would never get old in China. Fried rice won't get old. I'm just saying, French fries will never get old in France. Just saying, like pizza will never get old in Italy. Spaghetti will never, it's gonna age like wine. It's gonna age better than wine. That shit ain't going nowhere in them cultures. It's there, it's part of their culture. It ain't even a question. We debate about what's really hip hop culture and what's really not every day, because it was never really designed to be your culture. The people really designed it more to be the exploitation of any culture that you had left with your lack of damn identity. Once they gave you hip hop, instead of you continuing to search for an identity, you just made an industry your identity. That's like the white man making country music his goddamn culture.
That's right.
Country music is a music genre. The white man's culture is colonialism, white nationalism, Christian nationalism. Not no fucking music genre. The white man got music genres that will promote his culture through those genres, but we don't promote culture through hip hop. We promote corporate brands. We promote the street lifestyle and the fucking struggle. And that's because somebody wanted you to promote that through it. If you don't control it, you don't get to dictate what's promoted through it. Show me a people that don't control what's promoted through their own damn culture. I'll wait. Nobody but black folks, because they want to adopt a fucking music genre as their culture. Quit being lazy and let's figure out who the hell we are.
That's right.
We was on a quest to find out who we were. They took away our native tongue and our identity. I'm not satisfied with just saying hip hop my culture. No, the hell it ain't. We wasn't rappers and trappers and scratchers and DJs and niggas spinning on their head. When the colonizer came over here, we was pyramid builders. And far as I'm concerned, hip hop will never get us back to that greatness because, again, it's a tool that's used against you. Now, niggas want to keep attaching to it like it's a culture. And because they see it as a culture, they got everything to say about it. Why these young boys got their pants sagging? Why the young boys killing each other? Why the young boys don't like the old school rap? Why the young boy, bro? Because it ain't the young boys' culture, and because the young boys don't control it, and you don't either. None of us don't control it. Quit blaming the young boys. Them young boys the industry set a standard, and every rapper know you gotta fall in line if you want to get on. People see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the problem with the hip hop intellectuals, they think that the young people are out of touch with the real culture because they don't have a proper history class, right? For example, if a young boy say, I like Lil Wayne more than I like Nas, then the hip hop intellectual will say that's because of ignorance. He ain't educated. If we sit him down and teach him the history of hip hop, he'll come out of that classroom liking Nas more than Lil Wayne. And that's my thing with corny hip hop intellectuals. They're so out of touch with the culture, and they want to think everyone else is out of touch. Because they forget that the reason people like certain music ain't because they need a history class or they need you to educate them on how to like it. Music is subjective. People resonate with music during their time, era, because it reflects the lifestyle and what was going on at that particular time in their life. And this is what the hip hop intellectual don't factor in, because it's like a dude outside the culture keeping statistics. It's like the sports commentator thinking he know more about the game than the player that's on the field. A lot of the hip hop intellectuals, they don't connect properly to the culture. They can't understand why Young Jeezy rap the way he rap. Like, I'm a lyricist. Everyone know that. Nas my favorite rapper. I still like Gucci Mane, Young Jeezy, because I get it. I can tap into the vibration. I know the vibes. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Bama. And that was in Atlanta. I know about trap life, trap culture. I get it. I know why the beats sound that way. I know why niggas don't want lyricism in it. They want it to be simple. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be made that way. But the hip hop intellectual is the guy that said, man, they need to learn more big words. Man, they are ignorant. Gucci speaks slow. Or they try to police hip hop like intellectualism had anything to do with hip hop at all anyway. Hip hop is feeling, it's expression. Hip hop represent where you was at that time, at that moment when this song came out and how it made you feel. You may not even like the song for no other reason than a nostalgic moment it remind you of what was going on in that point of time. There's so many other variables into why a person cling on to a certain artist or song, but the intellectual don't give you that benefit of the doubt. They just say you're ignorant because you like Young Thug. And you said that you don't like Method Man or Redman. But if a young person saying that they can't relate to a music that's outside of their time, that's like an old jazz player or an old fucking, let's say Beethoven, orchestra player come back and say, you guys are ignorant because you like hip hop music more than Beethoven. But you was living during Mozart time. We ain't gonna ride around bumping Mozart every day. If you give us Beethoven, we gonna chop it up and turn it into hip hop, nigga. Cause we prefer to hear hip hop. Mozart wouldn't wanna hear hip hop. He would think you tripping cause he'll say, man, that's boring. Boom, 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 cop, boom, 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 cop. Listen to this intricate choir. Listen to these runs and stuff. Listen. And you would say, yeah, I don't want to do all that thinking. Because back then, that kind of music was very intellectual. It wasn't just a looping pattern over and over like boom bap and hip hop, which is what FD Signifier and Curtis King promote. And they think they're promoting the caviar of music when hip hop is like the great whore of Babylon. Hip hop is a mutt and a blend of a whole bunch of different cultures in a pot, making one industrialized capitalistic brainchild that they knew would become the seat for pop culture. And it would promote the urban struggle and everybody would relate to it. It would be the one music form for poor people. And you know how many poor people in the world, you give them their own music genre, it's gonna take off quick. And look at hip hop, goddamn. It connected people all around the world because of one thing: struggle, not intellectualism, nigga. Like, I think that these intellectuals are freaking gate guards. And I'm gonna show you what I mean, so let's get into some of the video reviews and we'll break it down. First thing first, I'm gonna give you before we get to BigXthaPlug, let's talk about the fact that if a brother say Lil Wayne is my favorite rapper, the hip hop intellectual gotta say it's cause you're ignorant, you're ghetto, you ain't got an education. Intellect means intelligence. And so what the intellectual is telling you is that you're anti-intellectual because Lil Wayne is your favorite rapper. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by that. That right there is anti-hip hop. That's like Bill Clinton telling you, if you vote Republican, you ain't black. That's like a nigga telling you, if you like Young Thug, you ain't really hip hop. If your favorite rapper just so happen to be goddamn Rich Homie Quan, then they think you're ignorant and you don't have any intellectualism. Now watch this, right? Don't these guys know that there are lawyers and doctors that listen to Sexy Red?
Stupid.
It don't mean they're ignorant. See, this is an insult that gotta stop. The word intellect really plays on a person's IQ level. So to call a person basically stupid because of their preference in music is actually you being stupid. And to me, it's a form of policing that has to stop in here. It turns hip hop to like what's happening with the NFL and NBA. It's watered down. It's too many flags thrown by the referee. It's too much policing and authority. And let us play the fucking game, bro. Like, can we just listen to the music and what I like, and quit telling me how to hip hop and what's hip hop or not? You know what I'm saying? People was trying to tell Allen Iverson that ain't real basketball. That's some ghetto stuff. That's what they was telling Allen Iverson, man. These bougie guys, like the boule bourgeoisie energy, bro. But let's play this.
I'm glad instead we're having a conversation with FD about this, because the more I watch it, the more that I felt like I got baited into this blood boiling, right? It feels like very like, yo, before we do this video, how can we really get them pissed off and push this to this ultimate edge? What is your initial reaction?
So this is very much rage bait.
For sure.
This is high tier rage bait, which also means it's low tier rage bait, right? Because the dude said a couple of things I agree with. Mm-hmm. Black music is Southern inherently. It just is. All music, really, and all American music at least, is inherently Southern. He also said something.
The kind of tight butt cheek energy that FD Signifier got and Curtis King got, it's the kind of energy which is the opposite of what created the blues and hip hop. We're talking laid back, down to earth, non-judgmental energy. just people trying to capture good vibes because all around them ain't nothing but bullshit and struggle. That's the spirit that created hip hop. When people looked around and everybody judging what they do, people looking at them different, ain't none but struggle and poverty. You escape through the music and you look for this to be the one place where I won't be judged. I'm free to express myself how I want. The early hip hop artists wore crazy clothes, man. Don't nobody joke on that. The Sugar Hill and them gang, them dressed like Rick James with tights on and platform heels on and leather boots that come up to the knees like strippers. Drop a one if y'all know I'm not lying. If you pull up pictures of early hip hop groups, I ain't gonna lie, they looked kind of gay, bro. But that was the thing back then, niggas showing up in Speedos. Tell me I'm lying. Them old hip hop MCs would be on the stage in a robe and a Speedo, with they cheeks hanging out, with big ass wrestler boots on, crazy glasses on, doing crazy movements. And the old heads act like that shit is just like the height of hip hop. Like if you don't fuck with none of that, then you just dumb. You ain't educated. So it's crazy. Like, you know, hip hop was never about making rules and being tight, having tight butt cheek energy. You know what I'm saying?
Most, which I agree with. Like, listen, at least here, I made this comment that, you know, there was some consternation around it when I talked about the fact that, like, I wasn't hearing Lupe Fiasco in the club when I was in college, when I was down here. It just did not hit the radios here. Now, that does not mean that Rakim won't set the party off in the East.
Now listen to what he just said. That's what I mean by hip hop intellectuals. They have a false fantasy in their mind on what hip hop is and what it was, but they can never find a point in hip hop where there was a height of intellect. And it's always been promoting corporate brands, whether it be Adidas, Kango, other brands they promoted, like what's the cars they promoted? Of course, BMW, Range Rover was promoted a lot. Pathfinders used to be hot. Even Saabs at one point. A Saab was hot in New York. I learned that on the Paid in Full movie. Niggas was riding around in Saabs at one point, and that was a trend. But check this out, right? Hip hop always been flashy. It promoted European brands since its inception. You know what I'm saying? You always had corporate control over this thing we call hip hop whenever it appeared on a world stage. And that's when it mattered, man, because don't nobody know about it before that. And that's when the intellectual will say, well, that's why if we tell them all the history of hip hop, they'll all of a sudden all want to bump Cool Herc or some shit. I don't know. That's going to make them niggas like Rakim. See, you can tell me the history of Asia, but if I don't like egg rolls, I don't like egg rolls, man, okay? That's right! Okay, bro. You can give me the history of Mexico, but I don't like burritos. I don't like burritos. Well, let me sit you down, because your intellectualism, that mean you ignorant. You don't know nothing about Mexico. Let me teach you the history of Mexico and then taste that burrito, Sanchez. It'll taste good after that. They call that intellectualism. And it's more like a bunch of old guys that can't admit that our era has passed us by, bro. It's okay. The young boys ain't gonna like the shit we like. I don't like all the hip hop my uncle bumped, even though I got a respect for boom bap. And I still got some respect for the old era, even though I'm kind of an 80s baby. Well, I'm an 80s baby, period. 90s rap more of my thing, because that's when I was growing up, right? So, but I still can get jiggy to music that niggas was listening to before I was born. I developed a love for old music through sampling hip hop. And most of the young cats, we heard all that old music our parents listened to. And if If what they saying is true, then we would have never sampled it into modern hip hop tracks. We would have listened to it the way our mom and daddy listened to it to preserve it. Why? That's called intellectualism, right? You the police, right? See, we wouldn't even have hip hop if there was some intellectual police on the earth, because they would have been like, no, don't you sample that record. What you doing? You turning that into the devil's music, young man. Think about if niggas had their attitude before hip hop, it wouldn't be a hip hop. The old heads would be like, come on, you don't like this R&B? Whatever was popular before hip hop, they'll be like, anything new is anti-intellectualism. And if you ain't rocking with this old shit, but that's what I'm saying. Every generation gonna express themselves their own way, Mr. Intellectual. That's natural. That's basics you should know.
What's that joint with Nas in New York City, New York City? Like that shit was a banger.
And the reason I'm playing this video, because I used to have arguments with niggas all the time about topics like this. And I'm gonna tell you what ain't hip hop. Not debating niggas about hip hop. The most hip hop thing you can do if you listen to this Curtis or FD is invite me up to discuss this and disagree. That's manly shit. That's hip hop shit. We debated about sports. We debated about football. And we definitely debated about Pac and Biggie hip hop, and your rapper ain't better than mine. And we always had debates about certain political things surrounding hip hop, like what I'm doing now. And guess what ain't hip hop? Running from it, because what happens in hip hop, if an artist call you out, the most epic rap battles, like Cannabis, LL Cool J, you name them, you gotta answer the call. And these guys know who I am, and they know I've been on their behinds disagreeing. And it ain't hip hop to keep running, all right? Because we on the front porch, we in the barbershop, we're men, and we just talking. You know why you would run? If you hear my arguments and you know you can't do nothing with them.
That's right. Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby. It gets down like so.
Right.
So oh no, that's what I want to get at. There is a ongoing thing in Atlanta, especially around hip hop and around music and like black culture, of just being really annoyed by like New York niggas.
You know why motherfuckers in the South annoyed by New York niggas? Cause they got the bougie police mentality. That ain't hip hop, that's hip hop. If you don't make it this way, that ain't hip hop. If you do that, that ain't hip hop. See, y'all supposed to be intellectuals, but I bet you ain't gonna bring up that. Cause they're out of touch, y'all. They not really in the streets, they in the studio. That's what I mean. This culture from the streets only make it into the studio so that the street niggas can express street shit. But a lot of the engineers and studio geeks don't be in touch with what's happening in the streets. This is a good example of that. Because if you don't know why niggas in the South got a problem with niggas up north, quit calling yourself an intellectual and y'all out of touch with what's going on in hip hop. That ain't no big mystery or secret. Everyone know that the same beef that the West Coast had with the East Coast, it's the beef that the South had with them. They try to monopolize on what hip hop is and who can tell which nigga who doing real hip hop or not, which is the song Common Sense made to Ice Cube and Cypress Hill. I used to love her. Now Curtis King from the West Coast, and he ain't gonna bring up that history right now with this part right here. Y'all historians, y'all part of the culture, you ain't gonna bring up the long history of not only the South beefing with East Coast niggas, but the West beefing with them too, cause them niggas is bougie. They like y'all two dudes. That's why y'all ain't gonna bring this up, cause they just like y'all. If you point out why niggas don't like New York niggas from the South and from the West, you'll be pointing out the shit I'm pointing out about y'all right now. that policing shit. That ain't hip hop. Oh, that it now. That's hip hop. All right. You know what I'm saying?
This is another reason I was going to ask you that, because I was like, I know you got context. This feel like somebody put a pause on when it was Death Row versus Bad Boy, and then and 3 Stacks came up and said, I just want to say the South got something to say. I feel like it was a pause, and then it was a play right when that video part started again. It was like, yeah, but we ain't forgot about nothing.
Listen, especially I was at HBCU, and I remember when I had to, like, thankfully I was humble. I was just happy to be there. I was so in love with how many different types of Black people I was around, and like a couple of girls from the West Coast, a couple of girls from the South, and like a couple of girls from the Northeast. Even though I was real, Southern was my favorite. So like I wasn't about to disrespect their culture when I was there. Let me learn who is.
You see what I'm saying? Their culture. You feel me? In my mind, no matter where you are, you can be in Miami making hip hop like Plies, Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? You can be in Texas like the Ghetto Boys. You can be on the West like Corrupt and all them. And then, you know, to me, all of that's hip hop. It's what make hip hop so fire. In my CD book when I was young, I had such a versatile CD collection because I liked it, the many styles that hip hop had to offer. I liked it, the fact, okay, when I'm tired of listening to all this deep ass intellectual, big word, lyrical shit from the East Coast, from the North, which I love to death. Nas, my favorite rapper, but you get tired of it, man. Right? I would listen to that stuff all day. The Roots, Nas, you know, Philadelphia Half-Life. Philadelphia Half-Life is one of my favorite rap albums. But check this out, right? I was on that, all of that stuff, the backpack music. Lupe Fiasco was my nigga, right? The Pins and the Needles is my favorite song he made. It's like, I was the type of nigga that'll listen to Common Sense, I'll listen to Nas, and right after that, I'm listening to Pastor Troy. I'm listening to Master P, make him say, And you would be like, damn, how can he? Because if you just walk up on me and hear me bumping Master P, you may think I'm ignorant and stupid and dumb like FD Signifier and Curtis King. But see, if you look at my CD book, you will see Nas, Lauryn Hill, all that, Music Soul Child, and then you may see a fucking 3 6 Mafia album, where them niggas talking about being coked up and worshiping the devil on the music. I was very versatile, had a very broad range of things I like in hip hop, because it gave me a sneak peek into all of these different areas in America that I wouldn't travel into, so I can feel the vibes through the music. You know what I'm saying? So why would you alter that? You gotta be, like we say in hip hop, be real. So when these artists come out and they be who they really are, the bougie niggas want them to be somebody they not. Like when you talking to Young Thug, when you talking to these little street niggas, they really like that. That ain't no act, bro. So there's no kind of history lesson you can give them that's gonna change their outlook on them liking Lil Wayne more than fucking LL Cool J.
What is this? This is magic. Pastor Troy, okay. Like, so, but I have to say, the New York niggas were very sure of themselves as the supreme beings of and arbiters of Black culture. Right. And that is a thing that has historically happened in Atlanta and elsewhere. I don't know how much of it's still relevant today, but that has been an energy that I've noticed around Atlanta, brothers in Atlanta, since I was like a teenager. I remember hearing that, right? So I think this is very much a response to that ongoing animosity. I can't speak too tough to like the validity, right? But I know that animosity exists.
Do you think that's why Kendrick got mentioned, because of that third verse?
I was just gonna bring up Kendrick. All the Drake fans was accused of anti-intellectualism. I didn't like that, because I didn't care like that. Kendrick and Drake beef made me lose taste for hip hop, for real. I ain't gonna lie, because it was too fucking it took away the years where we used to sit there and debate like who your favorite rapper, Biggie or Pop, and we still be cool about it. The Drake versus Kendrick shit let me know this shit getting goofy now, because it was like if you like Kendrick Lamar, then we ain't rocking with you, and if you like Drake, that shit turned into like a cult, like gangbanging. Even with the Pac and Biggie beef, it was like that too. And the fact that Kendrick and Drake ain't Biggie and Pac, and the beef ain't near to get to that point, and you had worse idolatry than Biggie and Pac, was amazing to me. That was amazing to me. I don't like division in hip hop. I like good competition. But I don't like we gonna run over here in our echo chamber, they gonna run over there because we following our cult leader and they following a cult leader. No, you had two communities divided, bro. Back in the day, even with the Biggie and Pac shit, niggas will still hang out, and if you like Pac, we'll just debate about it. Niggas will tell you why they think Biggie better, why Pac better. Some niggas will hop in and say, but you really can't compare them. You always had them, you really can't compare them guys. And they was like the peacemakers. But that was a regular thing we did. Today, with hip hop, it's like the NFL and everything else. It's watered down. The ref throw more penalty calls. You know, you can't hit that hard because you get a penalty. You can't talk about certain players because, you know, they're above scrutiny as politics. That's what happened in hip hop with any form of intellectual policing. Hip hop ain't really about you being smart. It's about you being torn and broken and expressing that to the world and making them feel it. That's what the foundation of this shit was. That's why people call it struggle culture. That's why some of my favorite songs, it got that pain in them. That's why Kanye West had a whole era in hip hop, sampling the music and putting that back in it. The feeling, the soul from the old school.
Verse on Not Like Us, or the fourth verse on Not Like Us?
Runs from you know, no, I think Kendrick was mentioned.
And I gotta be honest, you know, Kendrick Lamar is a GOAT. But when it come to West Coast music, people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say. But Kendrick Lamar saved West Coast music, in my opinion. I'm gonna say it again. I know it's gonna make people mad. If it weren't for Kendrick Lamar saved the West Coast. Because besides Kendrick Lamar, it's really a lot of just gangbanging shit that's hot. And I ain't gonna even lie, even when I was young, when it come to the West Coast, I wanted to hear gangster rap. I didn't just want to hear West Coast rap. And gangster rap becomes synonymous with West Coast rap. See, let me break some down to you. I'm from the South, and it's gangsters in the South. But the gangsters in the South don't have a music genre. It's just Southern rap. So you got Southern rappers that are gangsters. They're gangbangers. You can hear it in the music. But it ain't called, this the thing, like West Coast is the birthplace of gangbanging and gangster rap. Even when you have gangbangers rapping in the South, the West niggas will act like the New York niggas and be like, but that ain't real gangster rap, homie. Because it got a certain baseline and vibe to it than the gangster rap they was making in the South, which is more like Memphis, Tennessee. It's a different, West Coast shit hit different, you know, that vibe they got. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Any West Coast lyricists or just West Coast struggle felt artists where we talking about just heartfelt music, that was kind of overshadowed with the gangster rap culture on the West. So I know that the West Coast got lyricists, they got a lot of talent that's other than gangbang music, but it just kind of became a thing like, listen, if I'm going to China, I want to eat Chinese food. I don't go to China to eat American food. So when people be like, well, I want to listen to some West Coast music, the first thing they go to is the gangster shit. So it's not much intellectualism in that, which is what I'm tripping off with Curtis King. He's such an advocate for West Coast music. And really what it offered hip hop the most was gangsterism. But it wasn't much intellect to that. I'm repping my gang. I joined because I'm struggling, I'm poor. And I'm only gonna kill black people because I can't feed myself, right? I'm born in poverty, therefore I must pick up a gun and kill the other nigga who wearing red because I wear blue. Let me sum it up in a nutshell. Now, when you simplify it, it sounds stupid, huh?
Because Kendrick has always, and so here's another thing. All right.
Come on, drop.
Here go my hottest take. Here go to what's gonna get me in drama.
Curtis,
I was doing so good.
I saw the steam on the green screen as soon as you said that. Go ahead.
See, and what the intellectuals do too, they forget about feeling, right? Because they'll tell you a person ain't good music because they wasn't lyrical enough. They use simple rhyme schemes. Let's take T.I. for example, Gucci Mane. He just mentioned Pastor Troy. I was shocked. But my whole thing, that's what I be conflicting with, because I'm from the era FD and Curtis from. So I respect some of the same artists they respect, if not mostly all of them. But what I'm saying when videos like this one is that I see us doing the same thing the old heads did to us. Now we doing it to the young folks. Because I remember old heads telling us that the stuff we listening to was stupid, dumb music. And they had their form of rappers, but like when the gangster rap shit came in, all the hip-hop, the hibbity, all them old heads from that era, they wasn't really feeling the new 90s rap shit like that. It led to a lot of beef, bro, because the East Coast is the police. And they was telling niggas like, we don't like where hip hop going, because hip hop was re-expressing itself in the South, the Midwest, and the West. It was leaving the boom bap roots from the its OG roots on the East Coast. And people was rapping about stuff that was happening in their area. Because what was going on up north, there was a huge renaissance of intellectualism. People was debating about Islam, 5% nation. You had the Hebrew Israelites, the Moors. So that influenced the music when hip hop was born in the North. But when that shit made it down south and on the West, niggas was just telling you what they was living in their area, bro. And guess what? The New York niggas, that ain't hip hop, but that's them niggas' life. I thought y'all said you gotta keep it real in hip hop. If them niggas start doing all that boom bap shit, then you would say they copying off y'all. But they doing what's in their neighborhood, and you saying that ain't hip hop because you ain't doing it our way. But if they do it your way, now they copycats, and y'all ain't keeping it real. You biting. It's a lose-lose.
Kendrick has always, and it's not, Kendrick is an example of a type of black art that makes a certain type of nigga insecure. It's a type of black art, a type of black presentation, a type of black intellectualism.
Niggas really think Kendrick Lamar is intellect, and that's the shit I be talking about. Kendrick Lamar ain't no more intellectual than Willie D, Bushwick Bill, and them niggas was rapping about fucking kids and all that. Them niggas was rapping about sick shit. Like, think about this, right? Niggas is trying to make Kendrick Lamar, and I heard FD Signifier do this too with the Ghetto Boys. They try to make these groups like the height of intellect, and it make the black man look bad. You see what I'm saying? It was Ghetto Boys, not nerdy boys, not intellectual boys. You feel me? Like the thing about Kendrick Lamar, bro, Kendrick Lamar is from a reputable gang. The gang he's from kill people. What kind of people? Black people. Like, quit fronting them and acting like, okay, Kendrick Lamar's such an intellectual and revolutionary for the culture. And I love being around black people. And black, but God damn it, murder, such and such, kill, dude, is intellectual. At the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar don't make a lot of music that promote gangbanging. He don't glorify it like a lot of West Coast rappers, but he still rap about the bullshit. We all heard his album that he made, his biggest one that sold when he was beefing with Drake. It's the same shit every other rapper rapping about. It's his shit more heartfelt though, with SZA vocals singing on there, nice beat selection that's laid back, deep heartfelt beats. Cool. We had shit like that when I came up. Jay-Z made Song Cry. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West had all of the deep, heartfelt beats and niggas was pouring their pain out on them. Kendrick Lamar doing that on the West Coast, bro. It's crazy how, you know, dudes would be so selective with their props and shit like that. Like I think we overdid it with Kendrick Lamar. He's nice. He's, like I said, he's the savior for the West Coast, right? But what happened was niggas started trying to make this shit like the height of intellect. Nigga, Peekaboo ain't intellectual. Peekaboo. Now, I love that song. But, dude, let's quit acting like it takes so much chess playing and motherfucking wizardry to say, turn your TV off, turn your TV off. Now, with the beats that Mustard making, you can't do nothing but dance. It's so dancey and simple, you can play it at the Super Bowl. Come on, bro, that ain't intellect, that's commercial. That's mainstream. And everyone know when you mainstream, you can't be complicated and deep. The only reason the man made it mainstream, because he had a lot of easy to sing hits that we can repeat over and over. That's not intellectual. That's called killing the game, keeping it simple, making something that people can vibe out to. So he got SZA, he got the right beats. It was a kick-ass album. But trying to put that on some height of hip-hop intellectualism, it's like, come on, bro. That's like how white folks are called caviar, instead of saying, bro, that's just fish eggs. I know the word caviar sound real fancy, but it's just fish eggs. They overhype that shit. You feel me? Go ahead, Sterling. It ain't that deep, bro. Like, this is the height of intellectualism. It's not that deep, man. It's just fish eggs.
Salute. Wagwan, I'm just happening. I'm just listening. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was the only one here right now.
Hey, man, y'all. Hey, no. Never mind.
That makes a certain type of nigga insecure. And
can you expand on that a little bit?
Anti-intellectualism. It's dudes that actually, ironically, do be kind of smart, but they have a frustration around the idea that other people value intelligence over whatever it is they got.
And that's what they tried to make the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef about. They did the same thing with Nas versus Jay-Z. You know how I know? I'm a Nas fan and a Jay-Z fan. I had the Blueprint and Stillmatic, and I was bumping them both behind each other back to back. And I was giving Jay-Z as much love as I gave Nas. Even though Nas my favorite artist, I'm a fan of hip-hop first. I never choose a fucking artist and say I'm not listening to his stuff. That's idolatry. Come on now. But my thing is this right here. This same narrative he pushing was what they tried to push with Nas versus Jay-Z. And that is, if you bump in the Blueprint, you dumb and ignorant. If you bumping Nas, you're a chess player. You got a pea coat on with some goddamn Malcolm X glasses on, and you got your hands in the Malcolm X pose when he was thinking real hard, and you can win at a game of chess. Like, we like to judge people by what they listening to, and again, that is fucked up because you have lawyers that listen to Sexy Red, bro. If you walk up on a person and they bumping Sexy Red and you walk up on that female and think, well, she's stupid, ignorant, and ghetto because she listening to Sexy Red, that's just another form of profiling. That ain't no different than what the white man doing to niggas. He's saying, oh, his pants sagging, he got all that Nike and that hat to the back, he must be dumb. But that nigga can be a business owner and an intellectual. You see what I'm saying about what they doing, bro? That shit's crazy.
And so they really, really, really go up for denigrating intellectual shit, nerdy shit, thoughtful shit. They always want to break stuff down to.
Cause bro just profiled every nigga that don't like Kendrick Lamar as a kind of dude that got a problem with him being too smart because the kind of music he make, right? It's caviar. You gotta put the little white, you gotta do this right here when you listen to Kendrick Lamar. I don't think y'all hear me. Hold on a minute, man. Goddamn well when you put Kendrick in, when you put Kendrick in, you can't just listen. You gotta. There you go, sir. And you got to serve, you can't put, now we listen to everybody else. We don't got to do all that, right? We can loosen our shirt and all that. We don't got to have a conversation about education and intellect. If I say, I don't like LL Cool J, okay. But if I say, I don't like Kendrick Lamar, I need a history class. We gotta see what IQ level I'm at, because when they play Kendrick Lamar, niggas go to Grey Pouponing it up. This is highly advanced music here. It's educational. Kendrick Lamar is highly intellectual. And son, you better put your thinking cap on, cause I'm about to play a song for you called Peekaboo, Peekaboo, Peekaboo. And it's very intellectual. Let's listen to this chemistry lesson. Come on, peekaboo.
So, man, real niggas don't da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, real niggas have been da-da-da-da-da
right
since the beginning of time. So, let's talk about the South's intellectual, thoughtful, meaningful, pro-black hip-hop. Like Outkast, like Big Crit, like even Lil Wayne every once in a while.
J. Cole, Rhapsody, this is all Southern based.
But no, we got to be specific to the sounds that are reflective of the actual environment of the South. So so J. Cole and Rhapsody, yes, Lil Brother, North Carolina, right? Brother,
yeah.
But no, I do want to be clear that I am talking about some Pastor Troy songs. I am talking about one or two Lil Baby songs where not only does it sound exactly like.
Let me show you. Goes. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Check this out.
I've never been in a party and they play some real New York like Rakim. They gonna play Pop That Coochie before they play New York.
Yeah, I hope so.
They'll play Let Me Ride That Donkey before they play.
Yeah, I hope so.
New Yorkers gotta learn to make music for people to party, not that junk. Not nobody want to be thinking.
I ain't no joke.
No, I'm glad you said that because that had pissed me off. That's how I feel about when I listen to Kendrick.
No. Hey, I'm telling you, you gotta listen. It's a message.
No,
bitch, I don't want no fucking message in a song.
When down south people started making good music, New York moved the goalpost. Well, y'all ain't saying nothing. The music wasn't meant to say nothing. Wop babaloo bam, wop bam boom. Nobody.
They don't like that, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit, right? As a music producer, I sample music a lot, right? Often I like to sample other cultures, rare songs that you can't find. We know Timbaland used to do it. Remember the song Indian Flute? Tell me what that lady's saying. You don't know because you don't speak their language. This proves one point. Hip hop never was about what the hell you saying. This brother talking and telling the truth. Now, there is a form of intellectual hip hop that cares about lyricism and what you saying. That's the form of hip hop I'm a fan of, but that ain't the only form of hip hop I'm a fan of. I like dumb hip hop because them niggas really dumb. They don't know big words. They expressing themselves the best way they can. I don't want them to fake like they smart for me. I want them to be they self. Gucci Man to be his self. Migos to be yourself. You see what I'm saying? I can respect every form of hip hop as it come. I'm not an intellectual trying to police which one is the best example of what represent the culture and all that. Hip hop is a tool for anybody and everybody to express themselves. And I will sample a song that you don't even know what the lady's saying because it's another culture, another language, a foreign language, and I can turn it to a beat. And you'll be vibing to it in hip hop. And you won't ask me, can you translate what she's saying? You never heard a nigga say that. We got plenty songs with abstract samples in them, foreign samples, that's been hip hop classics for years, and you still don't know what the sample's saying. Because it's a foreign sample, she's speaking in her language, and we don't give a fuck what she's saying. It sound good. We didn't know what it meant. Hip to hop, the hibit to the bang bang boogie to bang bang. What the fuck is so intellectual? What's the message in that? That's one of the early hip hop classics. That laid the foundation. So this whole argument about hip hop just got to be big words, lyrical and intellectual. It's an argument that died on the East Coast and should have stayed there. I don't know why these modern intellectuals trying to resurrect it, because you can't define what hip hop is. Hip hop is too liquid. Soon as you say it's this, it's that. Soon as you say it's that, it's this. It's dynamic. It's beyond anything any historian can define. Because anybody around the world you got cultures now on TikTok putting their whole culture to hip hop beats. They even can get into the vibe and express their language. You probably never tap into their music, but they tapping into yours. That, you know why? Your music form was never made for just you. Hip hop is an industry that the small hats created to take over the world commercially. They know that it is a powerful tool with promotion and putting propaganda out. Hip hop is big, especially on TikTok. So my thing is, we like to think it's big because of us. But literally the corporate America put all the money behind this industry and funded this whole shit. And yes, we're talented. That don't take away from the talent that we got. It's just saying that the agenda was bigger than our talent. The agenda was bigger than your passion for breakdancing and scratching records. The people that created this industry had a worldwide takeover agenda in mind, and they wanted to use you, and you didn't even know you was being used. You thought you was being used to sell records, and you was being used to promote American ideologies to the whole world, black man. This what the intellectual won't tell you, though. See, y'all think they used you to sell records, and they used you to promote agendas and concepts, brands and ideologies to countries that wouldn't have never took them from anyone else. They wouldn't have took it from Garth Brooks. You couldn't promote this mentality through country music. You can't make this. You think this should be this popular if it was bluegrass? Hip hop is literally a music genre that was socially engineered and tailored and created for commercialism and corporate profit. Facts.
You ain't supposed to just vibe to it. That's why Future is king. That's why he king, because he know how to make you do this.
Yeah.
Man, he ain't saying that. I know that's the beauty.
That's the beauty.
Yeah.
That's the
Because I don't know what the hell was in.
It's how you say it. Music was invented
That
in
shit
the
went
South
hard.
anyway.
I will say this. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. But
What?
he knew how to go get Southern rappers and dumb it down too, though.
He had a blend.
You know he got to dumb it down.
Yeah, Big Pimpin', spinning. They're talking that shit. He talking about.
Let me tell you something. In R&B, when they do runs, that's the part we like the most, and they literally ain't saying nothing. It's just a run. It's just them singing it. It don't gotta make sense. It just sounded good. Ooh, 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 you know, however they do the run. Music is music, man. Like, at the bottom line, does it sound good? Because you can have a rapper that's smart as hell, intelligent. He using big words. He got heavy lyricism. And his music just can be boring. It can have no life in it. There's a lot of East Coast rappers like that. Drop a one. Tell the truth. It's so many East Coast rappers, and I know what I'm talking about because I'm from the South, but I love East Coast music. I got a broad range of music, bro, that I like. So what I'm telling you is this. One of the flaws of being an intellectual rapper is what I like to call you can get too wordy and too caught up into wizardry that you forget to make us feel anything. That's why the South took over, bro. Because them niggas wasn't talking about shit, but when they rap, you can feel that pain. You can feel it in the South. You can feel that shit when Rich Homie Quan them is singing, when they pouring that, when Young Thug is singing that shit. Even though you may say they ain't saying nothing, you get the vibes. You can tap into what they was feeling, what their life is, what you can feel the emotion in the shit. And the old heads don't get that. They say that's ignorant rap. He ain't saying nothing. But you don't feel that shit, nigga? You forgot how to feel music? See, y'all forgot how to feel. And it's a lot of fucking lyricists that forget, and I had to check myself with that. Because I used to read the thesaurus and learn all of these big words. I used to be so complicated and complex in my rhyme schemes. I was so good at it, like Eminem. Word wizardry, man. I'm talking about big words and rhyme. Eradicate the fabricate the and all that shit. And you would lose a rap battle from a nigga that just says some simple shit and he had feeling to it. And you up there so complex, you doing all them flips, you doing all that. You got the big words, you telling a history lesson. And some nigga come up there and hit you with a yo mama joke and win the battle. Some simple that the crowd can relate to. They just want to have a good time and lighten up. You forget to do that when you get into that. You can get too caught. And that's what I like about 50 Cent. I know 50 Cent is more lyrical and more intellectual than what he showed. But he intentionally made his shit simple so everyone can relate to it. It's consideration, actually. And guess what? The public will reward you for that. I had to learn that, listen, if I want to take my flow to the next level, I got to quit using a lot of local slang, local inside jokes, local concepts, because a person listening to my music that's in Canada ain't going to get the joke. They might not know what that slang means. And that's some of the things that the big artists consider. They say, well, let me just make a simple song. Simple. And you may not like simplicity. But guess what? You got artists that can't be nothing but simple. I'm not mad at them because they who they are. Then you got complex artists who know how to water they shit down to make a radio record. Because they know they hit song can't be too deep. I respect that because that people don't know when you're a lyrical artist, the hardest thing for you to do is make a simple song. Ask Nas, nigga, ask Nas.
Being with girls and shit, I don't want to hear all that KRS-One shit. You cross the bridge. You see, man, shut the fuck up. Got no damn bridge, nigga. We ain't got no bridge in Atlanta.
New York was always stupid for thinking that they word means something. Like, they really think that Biggie is the best rapper. They really think New York niggas is the best rapper. They don't realize they only...
I gotta come to New York defense. I gotta defend New York because New York ain't the only ones. My thing is, any nigga silly thinking they word means something because music is subjective. If a nigga say I like T.I., he my top #1 rapper, and KRS-One is number 10, right? If a nigga say I like Young Thug more than Rakim, that's him, bro. That's his options. I'm gonna leave it at that. I get it. I understand how, right? Because the thing about FD Signifier and Curtis King, they have a degree of intellectualism to them, but you got to put that shit on pause sometime and feel the music. You gotta be a fan of this shit first. And I know they like to think they are, but they really not. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, everything this dude saying in this video is right. But I know they gonna have a problem with it. Watch.
So you believe Jay-Z a better rapper than Lil Wayne?
Easily.
That's my #1, Lil Wayne.
And I ain't saying I agree on him with his rapper selection. I'm saying I agree on him that don't nobody care what niggas think about you thinking about which rapper I like and don't like. That's right. That was his point. You know, like New York niggas think we care and they try to police it. And I'm saying, no, it ain't just them, it's anybody that got a problem with me saying, look, I like Master P more than Rakim, which I don't, but I'm just making an example.
Easily.
I'm gonna tell you something, home. If you go back and listen to that goddamn Rolodex on both rappers.
This FD Signifier,
That's my trainer right there.
his life is passing before his eyes right now. Like,
cause think about it, right? Rakim let's look at the life. Hip hop is about lifestyle and being able to relate to the music. If a person don't know about New York culture, because when I was young, I studied New York culture. I was fascinated with New York. So I was on my red, black, and green Pan-African shit. I was studying other alternative spiritual systems that was coming up out of hip hop when I was going back revisiting this shit as a young guy. I tapped into the roots of the shit from the East Coast. But what I realized in Alabama, a lot of guys preferred Outkast, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, Young Bleed, like he said, Big Grit, like 3 6, you name it, bro, we can keep going. If you ask a nigga in the South, who you rather listen to, KRS-One or Pastor Troy, he gonna say Pastor Troy, and I don't think it's because he's ignorant, dumb. He can relate to Pastor Troy. See, the thing about a person saying, I like Master P more than Rakim, like I can't expect a dude that's born in New Orleans. He born and raised in New Orleans, right? To gravitate to Rakim over Master P. But if you was just hearing that conversation on the outside in, you may say, that's ignorant. You think Master P better than Rakim? But if that man is from New Orleans, he gonna relate to Master P more. Master P got the right tempo, vibration to fit New Orleans energy, right? So it's part of his culture. He can feel that more. And it ain't a matter of intellectualism at all. That word shouldn't really even be used like this in hip hop.
how do I want to approach this tape?
Because it's all about relating, being able to relate. That's the conversation we need to have.
The thing that makes me happy is my boy Reggie, who is very much Southern, trainer type of dude.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna put no special degrees on Reggie. He a cool cat. He's a simple dude. Lil Wayne is a great choice.
Hey man,
He's a simple dude. To me, just saying that is kind of like a sly way. I get you trying to be nice, but the way they reacting is still sarcastic. Like, we trying not to roast you, bro. We gonna let you go. Like, I'm gonna put you down. That this to me is doing too much. Like, and Curtis reactions like busting out, bro. I mean, I totally get it. Cause even when I was young and I was listening to KRS-One, Cool G Rap, niggas was laughing at me. They was like, bro, no, bro, put in that 8-ball and MJG. If you don't put in that UGK, you better. And it was just the vibes in the South. That shit fit the background. It fit the theme. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like niggas was riding old school Chevys and shit. And it was just, it fitted it. Like, imagine being on the West Coast. You got all of these 6-4s and Impalas and all that in the background, palm trees and all that. But niggas is bumping East Coast music. Even if they like it, it'll look kind of out of setting. You feel me? Like there's a visual that go with the music too. So when you hear West Coast music, you automatically think hydraulics, palm trees. You see, you can picture a nigga legs bent in a penguin because he's a gangbanger, right? Bent in a penguin stands, right? The Cholo stands. Shout out to the West Coast niggas, right? But I'm just saying. So it makes sense if I go to the West Coast and ask a nigga, do you like Kendrick Lamar or KRS-One and Rakim and all that? They gonna say Kendrick every time. And yes, a lot of the East Coast rappers, they rap about more political stuff. They rap about more black cultural stuff and black nationalism that, you know, but like they said, you know, that don't mean if a dude on the West Coast picks Kendrick over that, it has something to do with intellectualism or anti-intellectualism. It has something to do with what he can relate to the most. We shouldn't even be having a conversation about intellect. That's kind of sensitive, bro.
He says the least bullshit in this clip, and I'm so happy about that.
You say whatever you need to say, because we're not gonna be in the gym with you tomorrow.
You're not gonna be in the gym with me tomorrow. All right?
All right, it's like 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds on this, we're done.
Bro, Lil Wayne.
Wayne is that.
I got tip over Lil Wayne.
You crazy.
Damn, you hurting me.
Easily.
He number 2 though.
Easily.
Lil Wayne into it.
I ain't even finna argue like in debate that like song making.
You gotta go like bangers, like I mean, I guess.
If you go song for song, it's easy.
Ain't nobody got more than Lil Wayne, home.
Well, so I got my thoughts. I you know, it's funny because I was gonna do I was getting ready to do the most unk video you have ever seen in your life today. Oh, the shaking of the fist that I was going to do today. But then I'm glad instead we're having a conversation with FD about this, because the more I watch it, the more that I felt like I got baited into this blood boiling, right? It feels like very like, yo, before we do this video, how can we really get them pissed off and push this to this ultimate edge? What is your initial reaction?
So this is very much rage bait.
For sure.
This is
Nah, I'm not enraged. I don't know why these guys are so mad about what he said. It makes me it's debate bait to me. Debate bait. Ain't there some debate bait? It's debate bait. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. If I think you wrong and I'm right, and I think that it ain't nothing but an open door for me to debate you on a fire topic, like I don't do sports debates, but hip hop debates, science debates, political debates, oh yeah. And so I couldn't resist, man, reacting to this. But I ain't enraged and then I'm not mad at FD, Curtis, or nobody. I just think it's good content that I'm making good points. But salutes to all of them. Let's go.
High tier rage bait, which also means it's low tier rage bait, right? Because the dude said a couple of things I agree with. Mm-hmm. Black music is Southern inherently. It just is. All music, really, and all American music at least, is inherently Southern. He also said something else, which I agree with. Like, listen, at least here, I made this comment that, you know, there was some consternation around it when I talked about the fact that, like, I wasn't hearing Lupe Fiasco in the club when I was in college, when I was down here. It just did not hit the radios here. Now, that does not mean that Rakim won't set the party off in the East. What's that joint with Nas in New York City? New York City, like that shit was a banger. Uptown baby. It gets down like so.
Right.
So there. Oh no, that's what I want to get at. There is a ongoing thing in Atlanta, especially around hip hop and rap, meaningful pro-black hip hop, like Outkast, like Big Crit,
right?
Since the beginning of time. So, like, let's talk about the South's intellectual, thoughtful, meaningful pro-black hip hop, like Outkast, like Big Crit, like even Lil Wayne every once in a while. T.I. every once in a while.
Raps it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all like, I don't like when dudes sit back and try to give like certain artists a pro-black card and others they don't. Like if a nigga say, like he said, look, Lil Wayne is pro-black, but Young Thug ain't, right? But think about it. Lil Wayne and Young Thug got hits together. You see, it becomes very blurred when we play these games versus just letting each artist be what they be. And that's my thing about intellectualism in hip hop. Cause now you want to categorize niggas. Well, he's pro-black and he's not, and he has a more, bro, it ain't that deep. Hit the blunt and how this shit sound to you. Ride to it, vibe to it, right? To me, the deep shit takes away from the music. Cause the way that hip hop is made is in a smoked out studio with niggas passing a blunt. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. A lot of energy I see on YouTube, it'll get you kicked out the studio. But the crazy thing about it, Curtis King he's an industry guy. He's a real producer who produced for some big names and shit. He be around in the studios and shit. And guess what they don't do? Intellectualism. You just sit back, shut up, and you do what the hell you was hired to do, and you go home and you do these conversations. They know this shit get them kicked out the studio. They know better. But yeah, this stuff here would be considered corny, like in a lot of these settings where this music is actually being made. This energy wouldn't even be welcome. Niggas would be like, bro, I'm just vibing out, fam. Well, what cultural standpoint were your mind in when you wrote it? And the artist, because I'm a rapper, right? My music is very intellectual, very thought-provoking and poetic because I'm a poet and an author too. But check this out. The thing about it is, it'll be hard for them to understand that some of my deepest verses that I wrote them high as hell, and I myself, it wasn't no big fucking well thought out, like a nigga will tell you, well, when I thought of that line, I was thinking about the revolution. And when I thought of this line, because the state of the world and politics, and I should be like, bro, I thought of that line because it flowed right. It just sounded good sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It be abstract. Nigga be like, why did you write that line, man? It's so deep. And it's not that deep every time. I'm an artist, nigga. Sometimes that shit just come to me. Like, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It ain't always so deep, though. Like, I know that a lot of the intellectuals like to fantasize and they kind of overreact and romanticize about the culture, but it paints the shit in a way that is really not. Hip hop is the most down to earth, smoke filled studio session with niggas that's just looking for vibes, man. They ain't looking for, like, if you feeling a pro-black right now, write that shit. If you feeling retarded right now, write a song about that, nigga. Bruno Mars write a song about doing nothing at all, just laying in the bed all day. He felt like that. It's a feeling, man. It don't gotta make sense. It don't gotta be important. It can just be literally you singing about laying in the bed all day and not doing nothing at all. And that's a big ass hit. What does that teach us about humans? They're looking for a way to get away from and clear their mind when they go to music. They looking at it like a therapy session. And some of us look into music like a spiritual learning session. The average American is looking for it like to clear their mind and unwind, probably hit the flow dance. They don't want to be intellectual for real. And I get it. I wish they would be. But it ain't their fault. Guess what? That's one of the beauties of music, because what that make you do, that make you say, okay, as an intellectual guy, how do I find a way to be intellectual and still be cool, trendy, flat, something you can dance to, something like, to me, that's what Nas would have eventually had to evolve to. You got to find a way to make the revolution. Like, that was one thing about all of the backpackers, the conscious rappers. I love them to death, but they blame the people on not liking a deep ass music because they so one-minded. And I've seen fucking gangster rappers and basic rappers go on Freestyle Friday and come with punchlines and be deep as hell. And then they go back to selling all their records, watering it down. And I be like, oh, so that nigga can be deep. But why would I be deep when I can sit there and write a simple rhyme and make more money, giving people what they want versus what I want to give them? So what a lot of the rappers found out, I'm not going to force an education lesson down nobody's head if they just want to shake their ass. And if you don't want to supply that demand, then there's so many rappers will. And see, my thing be, at the end of the day, music is music. What's the purpose of it? Dancing. Let's just simplify it. Music is about dancing, right? So you can be intellectual, but you still got to make music and maintain the dance part. And you can't say, well, they ain't being intellectual, so it's easier for them to make you dance. You right. Because you want to teach a lesson and be intellectual, it's going to be harder for you. But that's the challenge of being a conscious rapper, and I embrace that challenge. And I just don't like, even when I was coming up, the backpack rappers and conscious rappers will get mad at the people because they don't want to listen to our deep music versus keep trying and getting better and finding a way to make the intellectual shit more danceable. It's a problem. We just got to solve it instead of bitching, if you ask me. And this what goes on in hip hop too much. We blame the people because they don't like KRS-One, because they don't like the deep ass rapper. Well, I'm going to be honest. The deep rappers fulfill their little part of the market, and they was content with it. They was content with selling a few records to a few backpack audience. I love Rockers records, right? But all of the backpack artists just went for the selling approach of, well, my music is black power, so you got to buy it, black people. It's kind of like what they be accusing the black businesses of. Since my shit is a black product, I can charge you more for it, and I can put less effort because you supporting black people now. And I ain't gonna lie, you can't lie, in hip hop, a lot of the conscious rappers, a lot of them in that genre, they ain't, some of them suck, bro. You know what I'm saying? When it come to a whole album, you may get 3-4 bangers on it. Ain't gonna be no blueprint. Like I said, Nas was him, Rakim. We always name the same people for a reason, y'all. It was thousands of these conscious rappers, but you're gonna always name them same ones. The rest got buried. The beat selection wasn't good, because one thing about conscious rap, for you to teach a message, you gotta get these deep ass mystic, mysterious beats like what Nas got. But see, what I like about Nas beats, it actually bring that historical element, that empire type royalty that the black man think he's from Egypt. So he had Large Professor. He had a lot of producers that I like. I think Elliot. He had a couple producers, man. People don't talk about no more today. That was producing for Nas. People don't like Nas beat selection, but I love Nas beat selection. Like, deeper artists got deeper beats. That's another thing. It's a lot more going on. The melodies are more mysterious and complicated versus just a simple jingle and stuff for the club. So it's a lot to that, which is why it's so hard for the conscious rappers. But it's been done though. Nas is proof that you can have radio commercial hits as a conscious rapper. You know who else proof of that? Pharaoh Monch, Common Sense, and of course Lauryn Hill. You know the Fugees, Black Thought. Like, but again, we name these same people every time. But it was so many other conscious rappers, man, y'all don't know about. You're gonna always hear Lupe Fiasco, you know. So, but my thing is this, right? Oh, let me play the video. I'm tripping because we got another video right here. We got to play the whole BigXthaPlug. That's what we here for. My bad, I'm tripping. So, BigXthaPlug comments hit a nerve. Let's see what. Let's talk about it. I want to debate. I really want to debate if these Signifier and Curtis, it can be a 2-on-1 and then have a time clock and it can be streamed on their platforms. I think that'll be dope and they can control everything. You know what I'm saying? I would love, and I'm respect. Like I like Kurt. I learned a lot of shit from Curtis. His channel's fire. And FD Signifier, I ain't gonna lie, I just think he's just bougie, man. But he got pretty decent content too. I disagree with a lot of his stuff a lot. But let me skip right to the part. We ain't gotta watch the whole thing. We're gonna just play what BigXthaPlug said, and we'll let y'all hear Curtis' reaction. And then we'll react.
Genre. It's the way that he talks about hip hop that is really interesting. And then also, he talks about not even writing his biggest rap song after saying he wants to be the best artist that he can possibly be.
But hold on, let me play the beginning and the intro too, so you can see the main how they get to that point.
He times and Popcast where he talks about his journey, his breakout song, the largest, the biggest, the largest. I'm pretty sure you heard it. It got like a trap beat. He's rapping over the top of it. It was a song that went really, really viral. It got him embraced by artists as big as Beyonce and certain artists like Post Malone. Keep that in your tab for a second. This is an interview that came out 3 months ago, and the reason why we're covering it now is because it actually went super viral all over Twitter because somebody found this clip and posted it again. With that said though, he's talking about his experience. He's talking about like smoking a bunch of cigarettes, being around these dudes from Nashville. But then he says something that, boy, oh boy, just listen.
The response I got from the country lane, like all the artists, that was just like, I need it. I want to be on it. And I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. And you saw.
So he's expressing being embraced by this country audience, showed him new opportunities, showed him new possibilities with collaboration. These are the moments that you're looking for, right? Hold your horses.
As a commercial opportunity or an artistic one or both?
Artistic.
Okay.
Because in my head, I was trying to, whatever I do, I want to be the best at it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I'm not just a hip hop artist. I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That's what I want to know.
I promise I'm not gonna be old man shaking my fist at the camera. I'm disappointed when I heard.
Why? I want to know
this. I'm just disappointed. One more time.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I'm not just a hip hop artist. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause if I could auto-tune some stuff up, I feel like I could be the best singer in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's not singing.
like whatever I do, I want to be the best at it. And so
I get what he's
I want
saying,
to be the
though.
best artist in the world. The only way I can do that is if I can show that I can do something other than rap.
And go out to the world.
Exactly.
It's like touring Europe.
Why is that making people black
There's
people?
a few things here going on, and this is
Black people be having this selective outrage, and I'm like, bro. Even when Beyonce did her country album, people was giving her flack, and she was saying some stuff to the nature of, I'm more than just, a pop artist or something like that. But that'll be the same scenario. Like, yeah, people don't want to be limited to one thing, and that's how I see it. But hey,
this is one of them. Saying this, I think, in front of 2 white interviewers from New York Times.
The fact that they white, I don't know why Curtis playing a race card that ain't even there. If a person saying, I don't just want to be a hip hop artist. I want to make country music. I want to make other stuff. Then yes, you trying to just call them the title of hip hop artist would hurt that, because they're saying, no, I want to be flexible. Sometime I feel like a little reggae. I get it. Because, like I said, coming up, I had a very broad range of music I liked. From R&B to reggae, I like Bob Marley, to Jada Kiss, to Lauryn Hill, to goddamn Bob McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy. To some say I'm hopeless, then a penny with a hole in it. Man, I like a whole bunch of styles and kinds of music. And if I could make them all, I would, just like what BigXthaPlug saying. And I wouldn't want nobody to limit me to one thing. I totally get it. Like, I wouldn't want nobody to pull the black card on me just because I want to be versatile as an artist either.
Is showing an inability to read the room. These are not the folks you want to have this kind of conversation with. I would have.
Why? How come I can't sit down with a white man and say, I want to be more than just a hip hop artist? This is not a racial everything don't have to be racial. That's right. Sometime a brother just saying, look, I want to do more than just rap, man. Like, I want to do some R&B. You know what I mean? I want to do more than just rap, bro. Like, we equate rap to blackness. And like, if a black person say, well, I want to do country music, well, you being white, man. Like, this shouldn't always be everything, put the race in it.
Much rather him do this kind of conversation with the Sway or with, a Breakfast Club to get press.
Why? That don't make no sense to me. That's crazy. So he can only have this conversation about him want to be more than just a hip hop artist with black people? Damn. What part did I miss? Am I missing something or something? That's crazy.
Refreshed a little bit more about, well, what do you mean by just a hip hop artist? Doing this in a room and mixed company like this about a culture that would see these 2 gentlemen as guests is already kind of.
And that's another thing. Like, I'm gonna tell everybody something real quick. That's niggas saying who's a guest or not in hip hop at this point is like gang members telling niggas who to check in or not. Like, you can literally go to these places and you ain't gotta check in nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You hear that a lot. You're a guest here. And these folks will tell you that while the guests got their foot on the table and the guests don't move their feet. We be like, but bro, you a guest in my house. And they keep their foot on your table. Come on now. They know you calling them a guest don't mean that they gonna take the foot off your coffee table. So they saying, if I'm a guest, prove it. Treat me like one. Remove me out of your house. And guess what? Black people can't do it. We just sit back and bitch and say, but you're a guest though. And guess what it proves? It's not our house, because it was built by Jews. The people that built the house own it. Just because you performing in it don't mean nothing. You did not build the industry that's distributing your own music, and most of these rappers don't even own their own damn masters. Let's talk about that part. Let's talk about that part. Because these parts we don't want to talk about is why you keep talking about who's a guest, and these guests don't care about you calling them guests. That's like a nigga walking around my house with his boxers on, eating my Fruit Loops out the fridge, and I'm telling him, man, you a guest in my house, but he ain't going nowhere. I ain't removing him. I'm just keep saying, but you're a guest though. And he's still walking around wearing my clothes, eating my food in the house. That'll be crazy. And the guests are cocky too. They rub it in too. Soon as you call them a guest, they go eat your snack right in your face. And this brownie good, what you gonna do about it? I'm gonna call you a guest again. That's all I'm gonna do about it. Keep reminding you, you're a guest. And the people that's telling the guests that they're a guest in the house don't even own their own masters to their music in the house. They calling the guest a guest, but they being treated worse than the guest. They being treated like a slave in the house. They making the less off their music. You know why? You know why that's true though? Because they ain't worrying about the business aspect. They too busy worrying about intellectualism and the cultural aspect, which is why Jay-Z got more money than Rakim. That's right. Now y'all don't want to hear the truth. And I ain't saying Jay-Z right or wrong. I'm just telling you the cold, hard truth when it come to ownership. A lot of people like credit. A lot of people like property. See, these guys right here, to me, the concept of anybody talking about you're a guest at this point, I learned with the Fat Joe stuff, with the Lord Jamar stuff, the whole guest shit is I don't respect it no more, man. This is just a damn business, and the young boys just trying to make a quick couple of bags and go and invest in some business and shit like Jay-Z and get away. It's capitalism. So it ain't no morals in it. It's just let me sell some records and make me some money. It's a business. Now, I know y'all don't like to hear that, but we don't like to hear the truth. I know that don't sound good, but let's deal with that, because that's the problem. It ain't no anti-intellectualism. That's right!
On shaky ground, very much so. But saying I don't want to be just labeled as a hip-hop artist, I think implies
that's his preference.
There's a limitation with that title. I'll get into more details.
It is. If I tell the world I'm a hip-hop artist, that's my title, and I come out with a country music album, they're going to be confused because the algorithm has me in just the hip-hop section. It got me near KRS-One, all them, and guess what? I'm more than that. Just because my first song, that's like Lil Nas X. If they would have been calling him a country artist because he broke out with Old Town Road, he wouldn't have never been come later with the hip hop. So put that in reverse. If I come out as a hip hop artist, it's going to be hard for me to enter in other genres, limiting my title to that. It's common sense, man. Like, why do we got to make that so hard? And why didn't Curtis King address that right then and there? Why we gotta wait on him to come back with his answer for that? Because that's important. And I hope he come back to that.
But I want to show you some of the reactions, because this person retweeted something that was said in Vince Staples' story, where one of his fans asked him a question on Instagram.
Well, I gotta rewind that because that's wrong. That's crazy. It is limiting. If I say I'm a hip hop artist, if I say I'm a trap producer, but I produce R&B, I produce reggae, I'm limiting myself, bro. That's right. If I say I'm a hip hop music producer, but I produce R&B, I produce jazz, I produce classical, I'm limiting myself. At that point, I should just call myself a producer. I shouldn't put a genre in front of my title because I'm so universal to many genres, it'll limit me. It's common sense, man. Everybody making what BigXthaPlug saying more than what it is. And that's why I'm dropping the link, because if I'm missing something, come fill me in. I think this a nothing burger from a bunch of people just looking for, you know, quite frankly, content. It's just trendy.
It's in a room.
Because it's reactionary and it ain't thought through. And most trendy stuff online is like that. But if you think about what BigXthaPlug saying, he's right and everyone else wrong.
More about, well, what do you mean by just a hip hop artist? Doing this in a room and mixed company like this about a culture that would see these two gentlemen as guests is already kind of on shaky ground.
I'm so confused with that part.
Very much so. But saying I don't want to be just labeled as a hip hop artist, I think implies there's a limitation with that title.
It is. Explain how it's not. But he ain't gonna do it now. He gonna do it later.
Some more details, but I want to show you some of the reaction.
It literally is a limitation, bro.
Because this person retweeted something that was said in Vince Staples' story, where one of his fans asked him a question on Instagram and said, "Is this the end of Vince Staples, the rapper, because in a new era of Vince Staples, the artist?" He said, "This is racist, just letting you know."
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Sarcasm. I know he has a great balance of sarcasm and like really meaning the shit he say. But does that kind of give you an idea why some people look at that and say, why is it always hip hop is seen as not just a step towards the direction of something bigger, but the idea that it's not, you can't do whatever you're trying to do. And what does the bigger look like? Do you just mean you want more white fans?
And so what if he do? What if he do? See, again, this is a crab in a bucket mentality. Because we do have some people, like, think about it, right? What I don't like about hip hop, why it's a crab in a bucket mentality. If you're an R&B artist like Whitney Houston, you can be with a white dude in a movie, even though if the white dude is racist. You can have a white audience, a black audience, Asian audience, no matter the race, because you do R&B music. You feel me? The R&B artists got it so good, they just don't know. Because all of the R&B artists, Jennifer Hudson, Mariah Carey, they can make music for everybody. Everybody can listen to R&B and get into some love and some making some babies, no matter what your skin color is, right? So as an R&B artist and you black, you better stay in the R&B side, because the moment you cross over to hip hop, if you start trying to get white fans, they gonna joke on you, they gonna call you a sellout. It's amazing to me. It's always been that way in hip hop ever since I was young. Oh, he trying to get some white fans. That's why he making his music all simple. So a lot of artists, they prove to us that they can make music for black people, and they want to expand their fucking brand. You just gonna limit them to just making music for black people? Damn, no. Hip hop artists, the only people that can't grow their business and bring in new diversity and new people into their brand. Coca-Cola can do it, R&B can do it. Everybody can do it, but if you're a hip hop artist, you gotta keep it black, man. You gotta keep that shit black. It's crazy, man.
If we keep it a whole stack, is that what we really mean? Like what is it that limits you as a hip hop artist? Another point of view that I thought was interesting. Shout out to,
like, think about it. Michael Jackson had so many different diverse fans all over the world. If Michael Jackson was a hip hop artist, niggas would call him a sellout. Tell me I'm lying. That's right. If Michael Jackson was a hip hop artist, the crab in the bucket shit, and it's still in rap today. If a nigga come out making drill music and he mature and he say, look, man, I want to stop rapping about pill popping. and all that shit. I'm making a rock album. I'm gonna make a heavy metal album, and I'm gonna talk about something else because I got my money. I'm not in the gang culture no more. Guess what? If that boy say I'm gonna make me a country album, a rock and roll album, niggas gonna call him a sellout. They gonna say, oh, so you ain't gonna make no more music about killing your people? So you through making music about gangbanging and selling drugs to your own people? Oh, so now you wanna go and make rock and roll? You're a sellout. Tell me that ain't stupid. It's backwards. Real talk. You're a sellout. You don't wanna keep it black. And so hip hop cannot. That's the thing about it, man. It's amazing to me. It's just freaking amazing because it's such a big limitation I can't even begin to explain. And they really think they doing it for some cultural pride, and it's a fantasy. It's an illusion, bro. At the end of the day, my art come before any of y'all black people. I'm so selfish when it come to my art. I'm like Picasso, Da Vinci. When the nigga was painting the Mona Lisa, they didn't consider nobody else. These artists have an idea and they get it out. Look at Dr. Seuss. He didn't care what nobody was gonna think when he came with his little colorful, crazy books. It was his wild idea, and it was genius. He wasn't keeping it white for the culture. He wasn't trying to impress this group, that group. He was one man like Bob Ross and a fucking canvas, and this is my idea. But you ain't, man, I don't like that picture, Bob Ross, because you ain't keeping it gangster, man. Paint another one. It's only in rap music, hip hop, where I can be an artist and I gotta go through all these rules and political loops and keeping it black, and I can't paint a picture this way, and I can't make the music that way, and if I can't call myself nothing but a hip hop artist, and this is a fucked up art form, bro. There's no freedom in it, because not only do the small hats got rules and limitations on you, the crab in the bucket artist gonna tell you you ain't black when you try new stuff. We say, why everybody sound the same? Because look at what y'all doing. The moment someone push the goalpost and try to make something different, it ain't black enough for y'all. I'm just saying. That's right. You can't think outside the box. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. If Jimi Hendrix was to be resurrected today, y'all will clown him. You'll say he'll sell out because he was innovating in a genre that ain't really popular among black people.
Mimi the music blogger. She says the undertone saying, I'm not just a hip hop artist, trying to say hip hop has a limitation. Rap is craft. Hip hop is culture. If you excel in it, you are already an artist. There is nothing lesser about it. When artists frame it this way,
we like to think hip hop is still a culture, but it's not. It's a big fucking multi-billion-dollar industry. And until niggas start thinking like that, we're gonna stay at the bottom of it economically. It's time to snap out of fantasy land. The people that's running this industry, they would love for you to keep thinking it's a culture and bitching about the guests in your house that you can't kick out. That's right!
It usually reveals two things. They want mainstream validation and think distancing from hip hop helps. In a room with two white dudes, and they have internalized the industry's bias that rap is lower art. That is the part that feels off. If you want to experiment, say that. If you want range, show it. But you don't need to downplay the culture to build you.
Let me tell y'all about the hip hop crab in the bucket culture, right? The corporations run hip hop. They tell us what's hot, what's not hot. They make all the trends, right? And we don't care nothing about it. We let them do that. We say, man, remember when Kangol and Adidas was hot? Why it ain't hot no more? Because the corporations got us promote some new shit. It ain't because we changed it. We don't control the trends in it. We like to think we do. But if we control the trends in hip hop, why wouldn't we be making black brands popular versus Kangol, Adidas, Nike, and all that? Come on now, I'll wait. So watch this, right? My thing be, we can let the small hat tell us what to do, when to do it, how to wear our pants, baggy this year, tight the next year, this trend, that trend come, this one leave. Very trendy. But the moment a black artist make a change himself, independently of what some small hat saying, every black person call him a sellout. The small hat can make niggas put on skirts, dresses in hip hop, tight jeans. They control the trends. The small hat can bring in smoking op packs, dissing the dead, prison culture, dominating it, all by design, and we'll go along with it. Y'all are even say, even Young Thug is pro-black, even Lil Wayne is pro-black sometime, because we know Lil Wayne promote the corporate agenda. We can't you're putting Lil Wayne in the same boat as KRS-One and Rakim. That's what the kind of games they play. The intellectuals play them kind of games. It's okay to keep it real, man. Like, we got real gangsters in hip hop, bro. Like, and it's okay to say that. And we don't gotta name call them in there, because hip hop is a tool for anybody in any lifestyle to get in it and express themselves. So if a woman who live in a promiscuous lifestyle get into hip hop, guess what you get? A Lil Kim, a Nicki Minaj. And if a woman who get in and she's pro-black get into hip hop, guess what you get? Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill. If people expressing who they are through the music, they ain't letting the music tell them who the fuck to be. That's what y'all ain't learning about hip hop. That's right. See, and the intellectuals got this fake fantasized thing that hip hop is this way. And everybody in hip hop, they do it this way and dress this way and act this way. And if you don't do it that way, it ain't hip hop. Nigga, there ain't none of that hip hop. That is false. Hip hop was never like that. The hip hop I know, you can innovate. You can be the first nigga to create the next style that everybody doing. But see, they forgot them days. Cause see, that's what BigXthaPlug doing is that's all I see. I don't gotta agree with their lyrics, but I've been know this is old stuff, like niggas in hip hop trying to push the boundaries. Stop calling me a hip hop artist, right? Because I'm trying to separate myself from other niggas. I'm gonna actually morph my hip hop genre into other forms of music, may even create subgenres on my own. That's creativity. You can't be creative if a nigga start policing you saying, well, that's selling out. When did pushing the boundaries become selling out? When did saying don't limit me to just a hip hop artist become selling out? That's literally called don't put no limiting titles on me, because I'm gonna eventually become more. I'm already more. Boom. So what BigXthaPlug saying, it's totally understandable. It ain't even no big conversation to have about it, right? If that's it, then I'm shocked. That's why I did the stream. I was shocked. I was like, damn, this all they tripping about? That's crazy.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
How is that disrespecting hip hop because a brother say don't call me a hip hop artist? That mean brother leave the door open. That's like this. If a nigga in the NFL, but he also want to play in the NBA too, and he say, don't call me a football player. I prefer that you just call me an athlete, because I'm in the NBA too, right? And I played a couple of seasons in the MLB. Let's say you get a triple threat, a talented nigga, and he play all three. which is very rare. They just play 2 most of the time. But I'm just saying, if a person make that request and they say, well, since I'm multi-talented and I actually experiment in multiple fields, respectfully, please don't title me by limiting me to one. How the hell is that me distancing myself from hip hop? No, it's me leaving the door open for me to make myself closer to other genres, not distance from hip hop. Because if I'm a lawyer, but I want to go to medical school, I'm not distancing myself from law. Law is in me. I'm a lawyer. I'm gonna always be that. I'm just going to learn something else. And if a person say, but you're a lawyer, I got the right to say, you're right, I'm a lawyer, but I'm a doctor too. So just call me a professional. Just saying, I'm giving you an example. But it works better with athletes and music though. You get the point. Because the thing is, the person ain't loyal to hip hop, they loyal to music. I'm the same way. Even though I'm a trap producer, I make trap beats. And even though I'm a lyrical rapper, I'm not limited to those little genres. I like music, period. And if I had all of these different talents where I can do R&B, rap, and different music forms, I would just tell people to call me a musician. And I would pride myself in that title because it's universal. It'll sound better than just he's a hip hop artist or a trap producer. You limited me. You've literally limited me, bro. That's like someone going up to Kanye West and saying, yeah, you're a hip hop producer. No, that dude have ascended beyond that. He's crossed over and to the point where you just gotta call him a super producer. You feel me? So producers know what I'm saying, because you can start off producing just hip hop, but if you get better and better and learn how to make pop music, you can make more money. You can get more business. And if you learn how to produce R&B, you can make even more money. Now, in order for you to get more business, you can't market yourself as a hip hop producer, because the R&B artists won't look for you. The pop artists won't look for you. Producers know what I'm talking about. So you reach a point where you just say, look, I'm a super producer, or, I'm a producer, period. That means anything you need, basically. Because if I say, well, I'm an R&B producer, everybody already know that means I only produce R&B music. Nothing else. If I go in the room and I say, I'm a country artist, everybody in the room gonna automatically assume he only makes country music. So me as a person, if I decide that I want to make more than just country music, the first thing I need to change is my title from a country artist, because I'm limiting myself. I should just say, look, I'm a music artist, because you may see me on a reggae song tomorrow. Just saying, it makes perfect sense.
Me, that was the same sentiments I had. Like, we get so critical, and rightfully so, of the Tommy Richmonds who make statements like this, of the Post Malone, the Miley Cyrus who talk about their adventurous, risk-taking journey in rap, and how, it showed them a lot about what that was and the limitations that were there. But when I really wanted to spread my wings, I had to leave hip-hop. I had to leave rap. This is what I mean when I say some people have the ability to take hip-hop off and move on. Some people don't have that ability.
See, the thing is this. A person say, you got the ability to take hip-hop off. But the truth is, you got the ability to put other genres on. That's like telling a man, you got the ability to take basketball off because he went to play a year in the NFL. He didn't take basketball off. He just put football on, bro. You see the glass half empty. That's a negative crab in the bucket, vampire way of looking at it. It's so negative. He's taking hip hop off. No, he's just trying on other shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, Sanchez, how he gonna try on the other stuff if he don't take hip hop off? You see, that's how they thinking. You thinking because I'm looking for a new outfit, I never want to wear my old one again. Don't be so simple. And don't be so one single tunnel minded either. That's what BigXthaPlug trying to tell y'all. You more than hip hop artists. And you know what, I got a problem with this, because niggas will tell you black people created rock and roll. When Beyonce did her country album, they were saying black people created country music. But if a black man say, don't call me a damn hip hop artist because I want to get into country music and rock and roll, now he ain't acting black. You see how backwards and contradictory we are? They equate hip hop to blackness, but these the same people that like to tell white people black people invented country music and rock and roll and all the other genres. They was defending Beyonce. But yet, if you don't say that you just a hip hop artist, you ain't black. The biggest contradiction ever, man. Come on now. That's right. So we do equate rap music to just black people. That's what the white folks was trying to tell Beyonce when she did her country music album. You're being white. And black folks was like, nope, black folks created country music. But when BigXthaPlug say, well, let me not just call myself a hip hop artist because I'm more than just rap music. Now y'all pulling a black card? That's crazy.
No matter what they do, what they wear, how they talk, who they associate with, what city they're in, hip hop follows them around because it's in them and not on them. It's not a uniform.
And that's what I'm saying. Hip hop is in me too. But guess what? R&B is in me. And you telling me it is in you and not on you, but it's just on me because I may want to go make a reggae song. So you more hip hop than me because I want to explore other genres. Hip hop got a huge, hip hop don't have an anti-intellectual problem. It have a huge crab in the bucket problem and a huge bourgeoisie intellectual police problem. Gate guard problem.
Unfortunate.
People trying to define what's hip hop and not, what's black culture and not, who's part of the culture, we kicking you out, who's a guest or not. It do gets kind of weird and exhausting though.
To hear a statement like that. Another reaction here is from Bush. Rap is the only art.
Hey, look, I'll put the link out if someone want to join. Don't make this an echo chamber because I don't want it to be. Come disagree, come push back. Come let me know where I'm wrong because I haven't watched anything else other than Curtis' video, and you may know something that I don't know about the story. So I'm just telling you how I feel based on reviewing this video. But don't be bitter in the chat room. You can come and speak your mind. You can come speak your mind. Feel me? Let me drop the link. And I ain't gonna keep this thing going too longer if we don't get no smoke because y'all get my point. I'm just saying, like, I'm respectfully pointing out all the problems I got.
Art form where people feel like you have to do something else to be recognized as an artist. No other genre
They think, see, that's what I'm saying. People feel like you gotta do something else to be recognized as an artist. See, it's beyond recognition. And that's another thing about black folks. We do too much shit for recognition. I think what BigXthaPlug thinking is money. And you can't stop that and be mad at that because you just said Lil Wayne was pro-black. The lit like a lollipop. Look, that's very intellectual. So my whole thing is, this is all goof troop behavior and conversations. And rap is the only art form where people feel like you have to do something else to be recognized as an quote unquote artist. Well, let me explain something to you how dumb that is, right? If you are a hip hop artist and all you make is hip hop music, the world only know you for making hip hop. If one day you decide that you want to make country music, guess what's going to be to your best benefit? To stop calling yourself a hip hop artist when you're about to cross over. You now just need to say, I'm an artist. Take the hip hop off. Why? You about to make a country album. Will it look right for a hip hop artist to put out a country album? No, not if you trying to get real, genuine country music fans who literally listening to Garth Brooks and shit. That title of hip hop in front of your title gonna throw half of them off at the door. A hip hop artist making a country. So if you take that off, then guess what they got to say? Here's a country album by the artist named Sanchez versus here's a country album by a drill rapper named Lil Ray Ray. If I'm a country fan, I'm not going nowhere near it because you just said drill rapper. Now, had you said, here go a country, if you would have said, here go a country music album by the artist called Ray Ray, even though Ray Ray is a ghetto name, as a country fan, I would be, Ray Ray, I never heard of this guy. Let me hear that. Play it one time. But the moment you say, here go a latest country song by a drill rapper, the moment they hear drill rapper, they automatically gonna get these crazy vibes. It's gonna be so out of whack. That's like saying, here go a drill song by bluegrass artist Ron McFerrin, right? That's like saying, here go a trap song by reggae artist such and such. If I'm the reggae artist, I'm gonna tell them, take reggae off of my shit and just put artists. People ain't gonna wanna hear me if you put reggae on my shit. Like, I make all kind of music. Black people, why do we get mad at bullshit and we don't get mad at the real shit we need to be thinking about, like owning our masters? Kanye West made all that music and he went on a rant talking about how he don't own none of his damn masters, and he started getting mad at the white man for not teaching black men the business. All that money you got and a white man gotta teach you the most important shit about owning your intellectual property? Cause we too busy sitting around arguing about recognition, props, who the best, who's in the top 5, who the GOAT, and they sitting around arguing about who own the most of you niggas shit. You had all of these old ass rappers talk about who the best MC, and then none of them own they goddamn intellectual property. It's a shame. We be worried about nothing, and we don't focus on the real stuff.
Genre in the world is looked down upon like this, and the attack always comes from inside. It's so
They saying this man is attacking his people just because he said, don't limit me. Don't call me a hip hop artist. They losing their mind about it. Crazy. That's crazy.
Respectful. Yeah, what is that about? What? Oh, wait a minute. What is this here? Mind you, he admitted to not writing one of his biggest rap songs, but yet he's over here talking about being.
But you know what I don't like about what they doing right now? A lot of niggas try to act like ghostwriting ain't a thing in rap. Some of your best goddamn records you bumped was ghostwritten. Ghostwriting is a thing, y'all. It don't mean you can't rap. Even when I was in the game, guess what happened? As a rapper, you will have thousands of raps. You will have raps that you know you will never spit. It's like this right here. Cause a lot of niggas who just not rappers like that and just not in rap culture, they may rap, but they not really in the street. Let me show you how this shit work, bro. When I was in the rap group, raps was like clothes to us. If you was in our group, you can wear our shit. But if you went in our group, you couldn't wear our clothes. I can wear my brother's shirt. What that meant was this. It was certain slang words and shit that if you created it and it sounded good, another member in the group could say it too. Like bling bling. Lil Wayne created bling bling. But all of the hot boys started saying it because it was catchy. Lil Wayne didn't get mad at him. He said, yes, man, you can borrow that shit. Go ahead. When I was rapping, if you had a notebook full of raps and you had a couple of raps that you don't even like, because rappers would write verses and throw them away. Niggas would be like, I don't even like that shit. I never spit it. And another rapper in your group may say, bro, let me get this verse, bro. I'll spit it. That don't mean he can't rap. That nigga can rap good as hell, but it's just a verse going to waste. Let me see something. Let's see if a nigga what I'm talking about. Anybody in the chat room ever given away a verse or two, or a line or a bar, and you didn't think nothing of it in the studio? You may seen one of your homies struggling on a bar, and you may see, bro, I got a verse right here with that same rhyme scheme. You can finish that shit with this right here. You may hand them the whole verse like, I don't even like this shit. But if you want it, go ahead. We swap shit. It's at the end of the day, we want to make a good song for the public, bro. So teamwork helps, bro. Teamwork. That's right. Like being flexible, shit like that. My whole thing is, it don't matter if you wrote the shit or not. I've written raps and tried to rap them and sound horrible, and my homeboy rapped the shit that I wrote better than me. I've got rhymes from other rappers that when they said them, nobody said nothing, but when I rapped it, everybody hollered because the way I rapped it. And then niggas will let folks know, yeah, I gave him that bar, and I'll be like, that's for sure. My nigga gave me that bar, man. Appreciate that. It was regular. Today is like, oh, somebody wrote his raps. That was only a problem if you didn't know how to rap, nigga. If somebody writing your raps, but you can't write them, and that's all you relying on, then we'll joke on you. But it still wasn't a biggie. It still wasn't a biggie. Niggas just don't care. At the end of the day, it's the beat type, it's the lyrics type. If I'm doing this and vibing my head, I'm going to play it again. I'm not going to stop listening to it because I found out the lyrics was ghostwritten. Quit being goofy, y'all. Damn. Like I'm not gonna, like if you tell me somebody wrote all Michael Jackson music tomorrow, I'm still ain't gonna fucking lose no respect. Nigga, I'm gonna still play that music. Hip hop is goofy, and hip hop got a childish, immature, crab in the bucket mentality that I don't like, man. I never liked it. And so many limitations that other genres ain't got.
In the best artist, you're not even the best in the field you're known for and never will be. Oh no!
This is the kind of scrutiny you got to go through as a black man in hip hop that want to just not be limited. The moment you say, look, man, I don't just want to be called a hip hop artist. I'm thinking bigger now. Oh, who you think you is? Oh, you think you better than everybody? Oh, you just want to be called an artist now. Oh, look at him, y'all. He don't want to be hip-hop no more. He ain't pro-black. He ain't black. Come on, man. Come on, bro. That's wild. You kicking me out my race because I want to do a country song? Or another genre? That's weird, man. That's weird. Like, if a nigga say take hip hop from in front of my title, he didn't say take black from in front of my name. Cause you got a lot of niggas do that. They say, look, don't call me black. I'm not a black man. I'm just a man. He didn't do that. He said, I'm not a hip hop artist. I'm just the artist. Y'all trying to make him not a black man. Y'all taking his black card. When you literally got hip hop artists that don't want to be black, somebody got to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell it. That's right. Y'all backwards. You got a dude that don't mind being black, but he got a problem being limited as a black man. Right? Then you got dudes that only call themselves hip hop artists, but don't want to call themselves black. That's right. Y'all will see them as black and see the man who said, well, I'm more than a hip hop artist as anti-black. It's literally artists out there now that don't like to be called black, but they don't mind you just calling them a hip hop artist, and y'all cool with them. If a nigga say, bro, I'm bigger than just hip hop, you take his black card. That's interesting. But I ain't got all day to rant about this craziness. I'm going to get up out of here. Peace and much love to the channel members, to the Patreons, and to everybody that tuned in. It was a fun show. I hope I can do a debate with Signifier and Curtis. They can both be together and I'll be by myself. And they can control everything. And I'll humble myself. We're going to be respectful and do it like that, man. I think, I love these kind of debates, bro. I'm the type nigga that in the barbershop, I can be done getting my hair cut, but I'm going to stay at the shop for a minute if it's a good debate going on. If you niggas know what I'm talking about, comment in the comment section. Peace and much love, y'all.